Hello and welcome to X and Y Gaming Casually Competitive. And in today's video, I am desperately trying to get Snake Eyes to work. Now see, this whole thing started from an instance where Dario came to the conclusion, and I should say realization, that tier limits had been absolutely gutted. I mean, their tier 0 deck of, using the Ishizu cards, I mean, my god, Agito is banned. Actually, let's do this one. There. So, Agito is banned. Kelbeck is banned. I mean, Medora and the other Keldo, what is his name? Oh, Kelbeck. And these are limited to 1, and they're not even the good ones. The ones that are good are banned. You know, your Sheeran's at 1, your Havnist is at 1. What is this other? Murley. Like, the only good one is apparently one that doesn't really do anything. Or I should say the only one that's, you can actually play multiple of. According to Dario, it's not that great. But I digress. Oh, and Kit Kalos is banned? Oh, God. So, we came to this beautiful concept of what if we just played no ban cards. You could just make your deck any which way you wanted. And I was like, okay, well, I already remember. The one I remember, it didn't use grass. It was just a 40-card deck, and they didn't even play Pot of Greed. It was just 3 Graceful Charities. But anyways, this is a deck I found him online, and I figured if he can resolve grass, I mean, that's GG right there. Imagine how many cards would be tier limits. But I digress. So this led me to try and make a totally unbanned Snake Eyes deck, because I remember playing Snake Eyes vaguely, briefly for a while before they were severely hit. I remember playing Snake Eye Ash, search Poplar, summon Poplar off Summons effect, or whatever, and then he has an on-summon effect, and then when he goes to the graveyard, he has another effect, and it's just like all these cards they printed with like 3 effects, and I remember really liking the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. I mean, even when basically losing to it, you did have to go, man, that looks pretty sick. And, there's newer cards since then that I was either unfamiliar with then, or they just didn't exist, like Snake Eyes Doomed Dragon, which is just insanely easy to get out in this deck. So again, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I cannot stress that enough. I am just a genuine idiot with shiny cards, okay, and they look pretty. So I've gone with some Flamberge. I've only 2 Poplar. I went back and I looked up the deck that was basically just came out. It was hyping up the set that these cards were in, and even back then they only ran 2 Poplar, and I was like, all right, well, this is probably fine. We'll just go 3, 2, and 1. And this guy's pretty sick. He's basically a Monster Reborn. So then he can, there's an effect here where if this guy goes to the graveyard, you can summon 2 level whatever fire monsters. So you just pick these 2, or this and this, and then you use him to special summon whichever other one you didn't pick. And it's just, it's so great. But again, I have no idea what I'm doing with this deck. Basically, the whole idea is this deck wants to go, for me anyways, this deck wants to go second. You want to throw down this on the board somehow to get rid of one of your opponent's monsters, and then you very easily get this thing out to get another one of your opponent's monsters, and then you just attack over the rest. And then during your turn, because of the field spell, then you can steal one of their monsters. So honestly, one of the ideas I'm starting to get, I could attempt to mix in with these guys, with Snake Eyes, is the Hecka Hands, because they're both all about stealing your opponent's monsters, one way or another. That's something I thought of. And then things like Triple Tactics Thrust, in case you have to play through an Ash Blossom or something, which is also why there's the 3 cross-out designator, so you can hit all of these, whatever that you don't want your opponent using on you. You're already stealing down their monsters, so at worst you might need to use Dark Ruler no more, which obviously means you can't necessarily do anything to this turn, but you can make their entire board as pitiful as possible and just hope they don't make a lot of plays. But more on that later. Oh, and looking back now, I feel like I could come up with an even crazier extra deck than this, considering there's like so many banned cards that are really good and extra decky. But I haven't gotten that far. But hang on. So this brings me to the today's part of the video, where I am desperately trying to make Snake Eyes work because I have a very fond memory of using them. And unfortunately for this, if we come and look at, like if we look at the TCG ban list, I actually could use an extra Ash and Poplar, which would be amazing. Still only one Bonfire in Terraforming, but the original Sinful Spoils Snake Eye would be banned. I thought this was a heart and this is a lady. But like, I wouldn't even be able to do it. And I mean, Link Karibo's banned, but if we come over to the current list in the OCG, Link Karibo's not banned. And surprisingly, not even in any way limited whatsoever, which makes me think maybe this could come back at least, get Snake Eyes a boost. But hopefully they don't do this in the TCG. They need to keep them at 2. And give me my damn spell card back. But anyways, so here is the Snake Eye deck, and I'm trying desperately to make it work. Not very well, I might add. Maybe I don't need 3 Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. But, I've got this Singenjin fella, so I can activate him as a continuous spell. And that is like instantly, almost easily making this guy. So that's really good. And then I also am trying to incorporate the Shining Sark situation here. So 2 Shining Sarks, and then 3 of the Dark Magician Girl. So basically the idea being, you summon Dark Magician Girl to get the Shark, or you use the Sark to get the Dark Magician Girl, to then play her down and get a second Sark. Which at that point, you're just doing it for discard fodder, for having something in your hand to discard. Because she cheats into this fella, Dark Magician of Destruction, who searches out the one of Gaze of Timaeus, hopefully not already in your hand. And then, ideally, during your opponent's turn, you make this thing. But, so then where is he? You'll use this guy. You can use him, maybe Singenjin, maybe you summon Singenjin, maybe you've, broken the board with Gandora G. This is also a great thing. Summon him down, pay half your life points, blow the whole board, and then go into extra plays to, then you can, like I said, 8 and 8, you can drop them into Dingirsu, and that's a hilarious thing to do with blowing the board. I'm trying things I know. Like, there's this Wedju Temple, and, I think the Stone Guy? No, it's just the Temple. The Stone Guy's down here. I decided not to use them. I'm trying to minimize? I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I just really, really like Snake Eyes. And maybe it's because of the way it's written up, it's kind of like Red Eyes, Black Dragon, Blue Eyes, White Dragon, Snake Eyes, Flamberge Dragon, It's just, it's those kind of things. Odd Eyes, Pendulum Dragon. What's the other one? Galaxy Eyes, Photon Dragon. Something Eyes, something Dragon. Oh, man. This thing is great. Typhon, this thing, because it's the only way out of her fire lock. But then this lady is crazy, because not only can you special summon back any fire monster, usually going for one of these guys, but she's from her graveyard. If your opponent special summons a monster, or even if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, because you could Ibly or something, and while she's in your graveyard, you target a fire monster you control, and any one monster your opponent controls, and then destroy them both. And if you did that, you special summon her out, which is just, and it locks you into fire, so it is somewhat counterproductive to these guys trying to set them back from the spelled zone to your field. Okay, you just kind of got to work around that. Timing and all that, but chain resolution and whatnot. Oh, and I'm trying to like fit this thing in here as a hand trap, because when I was playing into Dominus Impulse, because I thought, basically everything in here is fire, so purges out, but Impulse, I mean, that would be really good, but then it shuts me down from using the earth effects. I tried, I thought, he's dark, she's dark, that'll be non-conflicting, but Sengenjin conflicts, so I either have to, like, hope I can use it first or something, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem that great, especially if I ended up going second, which is what I figure this deck wants to do, so that you can then go on and break your opponent's board by setting them as spell traps. And if you don't summon them back out, I mean, they're basically just sitting there clogging up space. So that's pretty nice, I guess. Unless they're like, I don't know, Crystal Beast, and that's what they want. So there is an alternate build of this. And this is if I go to the TCG. So I still have 3 Sengenjin, but I also have 3 Diabellstar, because I'm allowed to have extra Diabellstar. But I don't have that one spell card because it's banned. So I have this, honestly, not that great. If it was quick play, I'd be a lot happier about it, I feel like. But also, if I do search this off of the wanted Seeker of Sinful Spoils, then it's like, okay, well, then I can activate it this turn. And this basically just does what Flamberge and Doomed do, right? That's just, they look at a monster, put it in the back row. And then it's basically just sitting there, so you can try to steal it next turn. I like the TCG version better, solely because I have 2 Snake Eye and 2 Poplar, so that's kind of nice. But you got your terraforming, crossed out designator trying to hit things that would stop you from doing your combos. But I mean, look at this. I know I was just like, the TCG I like it, but I mean, like, look at this one. Because look, you get the actual spell card that, like, bridges into them if you don't get them. You get to play Max C, so you don't have to choose between which Molcharmy you want. 2 Called by the Graves alongside your 1 cross-out designator. So that's even easier to hit these guys. And plus, the OCG actually technically has access to one of the combos that is imperative to the deck. Whereas if I go to the TCG, I have access to Dark Magician Girl, the Dark Magician's Apprentice, or the Magician's Apprentice. Like, sure, I can do that. I have access to that, but I don't have access to Gaze of Timaeus by technicality. I technically don't get access to Dark Magician to Destruction. I'm not even entirely sure if that deck was one of the ones that's printed in Asian English. I'm certain it's not. I'm almost certain it's going to be just like a normal Japanese deck, like whatever normal cards. Because I mean, look at this. I have so many decks. Evil Twin, the Kaito pair. So if you were in Japan and you spoke of the Japanese and you could read of the Japanese and it was second language as reading English to you, then you would and wanted to pick up and play Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, you could do that. You could go down to your local store and buy for $10, I reckon, a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck, whatever, like this one, and it would be like, this is literally every card you get in the deck. This is like you buy 1 product, and now you own 2 Called by the Graves, 2 Ash, 2 Max C, 1 Crossed Out Designator, 2 Infinite Imperm. Like an actual 10 card extra deck that's not just like 3 monsters or whatever, or like 3 copies of 3 different monsters or something, like it's an actual varied, access code talker, Nightmare Unicorn. You could say all you want about, it's this artwork, it's not the, like, whatever, like, for $10, dude? Oh my god. And so anyways, there's all sorts of these, they call them tactical tri-deck, right? These, like, you get Eldritch over here, like, oh my god, you could get all these pots and stuff. Like, for $10, that's amazing, and that's great. But that's what there's a Dark Magician version of this one. I should go, like, actually get it. Where's Snake Eyes? Oh my gosh, this list it gets bigger and bigger. And it's ridiculous. And it's really great that for $10 you can get that. But now we have the absolute horrible downside to consider the fact that it's probably never coming to America. And if it does, it's going to be a hot minute. And probably inserted into some random whatever bullshit pack set. Oh, God. Anyways. Oh, yeah, some of these cards I've considered like DD Crow, because then it wouldn't conflict with the attribute, because it's dark. I mean, there's a handful of cards today I'd like to hit and banish before they, get recycled or activate their own banish effect, I guess. But so far, it's just been easier to take Dominus Impulse out than to try and slot in DD Crow. And, like I keep saying, I just have no idea what I'm doing. Here's some other monsters I've considered. Oh my god, I'm gonna give people whiplash from changing so much. But, like, this Flame Tongue, the Blazing Magical Blade. Because your face-up spells and traps that you control cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. So I thought, keep this thing out. Maybe summon it back with Promethean Princess and then link her away or something. That'll protect the monsters and whatever that I have set up back row. That'll protect, my field spell so I can keep it out. Like, I don't know, it seemed like a good idea at the time. But then you get over to here and it's like, oh man, you gotta get the spell card and you get to do you called by the grave maxi. But I only got one of these things, so let me hop into a replay real quick and then see how this has stood up to the not online. This is just, hang on. Now, I'll be honest, these are not going to be the most high table whatever plays and duels you're going to see here today. But, I mean, just hear me out. So, E-Telly gets met with a Max C, and then he summons this thing, which, like, what even is this? Pilica Descendant Gusto. Oh, how adorable. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything in green. Set 1, pass, and then it goes to the graveyard. He did absolutely nothing with it. Didn't want to give me a single card. Don't blame it. So we discard Gandora for the girl. Get the Gold Sark. Summon out Poplar so I can get the field spell. Field spell to search and then put down Flamberge Dragon. And that's going to get this thing on live. He's going to get that out. Send Poplar away for Link Karibo because it's not banned in the OCG. And then I set 2 cards. This face down and then Poplar activates itself, I guess, or whatever. I guess, what is the technical term? Target a fire monster you graveyard. It places itself. Place it face up on the owner's spell and trap as a continuous spell. Alright, so this guy is here. And he doesn't have to be on the field. He can be in the graveyard. I could have linked him away with something and still gotten this off. It's actually kind of crazy. And this is just setting up, basically, so I can have something to discard. You gotta have a lot of cards to discard, unfortunately. So here we go. Bam. Wind Witch, Ice Spell followed by Glass Spell. Both effects activate Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. 1 is Ice, 2 is Glass, and then Chainlink 3 with my field spell. Then I'm going to go 4 for Infinite Permanence, and I'm pretty sure I targeted the Ice spell here. Then I'm going to Chainlink 5, go ahead and get rid of my guy for a Red Ice Dragoon so I can start negating another thing. And then also, by the by, that Chainlink of field spell puts Flamberge Dragon on the board. And she gets negated, the other one activates, and then I go ahead and discard that, then activate Flamberge to summon out Poplar, who I thought was going to get me a search. Okay, and it does. I'm correct. Remembering correctly. Then we have the amazing Synchro summon. This is an actually cracked card, dude. Clearwing Synchro Dragon is an oldie but a goodie. Just a classic, middle finger kind of dragon. I think it's got like 2 built-in negates or something. Yeah. When another level 5 or higher monster activates its effect on the field as a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. And then once per turn, when a monster effect is activated that targets a level 5 or higher monster on the field, and no other cards, as a quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Just a little situational, you might say, but definitely comes in handy in those situations. Anyway, so it hits the board, and that's a turn. So now we're going to do an accidental defense position change, and then activate his effect to put him in the zone. And he's going to try to stop that, so I'm going to stop that with Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. And luckily, unfortunately I should say, he doesn't go in the back row. And then he uses this trap card, this Super Team Buddy Force Unite. I mean, look at it. Anyways, he summons it back out, which is nuts. I did not expect that to happen. But here's where it comes in clutches, where I'm starting to think this might actually be pretty good. It's in the hand still, I can discard it. It's a spell card, and it sends it right back to the graveyard. Then I send my 3 monsters away for the Flame Princess. Poplar and Fire Dragon effect activates. Although I probably should have left him there. But that's fine. Throw down this guy. It's what? Exactly 8,000. Beautiful. Love to see it. So now I'll drop into the second one here against the Dark Magician. And Wedju Temple. Wedju Temple is going to place Poplar and then get me Sengenjin. So drop down this guy. Absolutely stupid move. Just clicking button. Should not have done it. He puts himself... I'll get Poplar, and then puts himself down there. Absolutely stupid. Should not have done that. I hate myself even more for it, but let's continue. Activates the circle. Now, probably shouldn't have max seeded that. It's not like it's the worst thing in the world. I'm just saying, this thing doesn't summon, but whatever. Max seed it. Throws down the rod. Ash the rod. Doesn't have a response for that. It's like, alright, cool. I'm just gonna put the equip spell. It's the rod or whatever. What is this? What is this called? Wonder one. It's the draw 2 one. Just tribute it and draw 2. And then he throws down the Apprentice Illusion Magician and activates her effect. And I'm trying to infinite imperm, but they've got this card that's going to help him dodge. So as long as he can get that monster off the field before this chain resolves, then the effect won't get negated. Illusion Magic gets him 2 Dark Magicians, and then Dark Magician Gorilla Apprentice, or whatever name is, gets him another one. Just so many Dark Magicians there. Activate Sinful Spoils, Seeker, or whatever. What is this called? Seeker of Sinful Spoils. Ooh. And this is just a search for Diabellstar. It's absolute damn shame that she's only at 1. But anyways, throw her down by getting rid of the field spell Wedju. And then activate the card so that I can pitch Poplar to get Snake Eye Ash. Snake Eye Ash is going to activate, and so is Poplar. Poplar places Ash, and then I get my Oak. Oh god, that so much just happened. This thing, the spell card banishes Seeker so that it puts itself in the deck. And then I think I draw a card. I'm pretty sure that's what just happened. Then I summon Oak, and he acts as a monster reborn for Poplar. Poplar's effect gets back out the field spell. Or I should say, gets out the field spell. I guess it didn't go anywhere, but anyways. Then when I place the field spell, I can get a monster into my extra zone there. Or whatever, my spell trap zone. Not extra, but whatever. So then I pitch them Poplar and Ash for Ash's effect to get another Flamberge Dragon on the board. And then I summon the Dark Magician Destruction off of the Witch because she counts. It's basically, I think it says like a 6 or higher or something. And she's just, she reaches those stats, so. Anyways, then I'm thinking, well, I'm going to do them now so I can be preemptive on negating these things. And unfortunately, that's when they activate Eternal Soul, but not for effect. And then I probably should have stopped it, but when I destroy this thing, I need it to already be on the field so that way I can get its effect off. And maybe if I do it too early, it won't do that. So, I don't know. I guess I'm being cautious. But we're going to stop this. It's going to stop a Dark Magician from being summoned. And then, of course, it doesn't work because it doesn't work because, of course, it doesn't work. But also, here's what happened. Because that flamberge I sent wherever he went. Yeah. This thing is amazing. If this card is sent from your hand or field to the graveyard, it doesn't matter if it was treated as a continuous spell or not, but if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from your graveyard, which is insane. I think I talked about that earlier, and in fact, I think that's what just happened, but like, it's so great. And unfortunately, the one gets banished, but I'm running 3 copies, like a Blue Eyes White Dragon, so it's really not that bad. I don't have anywhere near enough on attack on board, but I'm going to get this guy out, and then use them to make Link Karibo. Oh, I put him in the bottom. I need to stop doing that, because you can't summon him back out. Oh, this is big brain time. Dark summons out Dark Magician, and then I use Dark and Oak to make the Promethean Princess. I use her effect to bring back Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon and send those away, because now at the end of the turn, it's been long enough that Red Eyes Dart Dragoon is just going to go sent to the graveyard, so I might as well get him off now. So I can end on a board with 3,200 beat stick, 3,000 beat stick, and I stole their Dark Magician so they can't summon it back out with Eternal Soul. Oh man, it just feels so good. Upstart Goblin, and I'm going to use my Snake's effect to summon his Magician on over to my side, just mostly to get it over with. He summons another Dark Magician and sets off the circle. Then I'm going to use my field spell. And the game asked me if I wanted to do one of these graveyard effects. I'm pretty sure it was for Promethean Princess. And I'm almost certain, had I done that, then he wouldn't have been able to chain it to this. Except, and target a spell and trap card your opponent controls. Negate its effects. So yeah. I'm almost certain, for whatever reason, the game asked me if I wanted to chain. I guess I could have chain blocked that, but probably not, because it didn't say it has to be like the last thing. It literally just says target. So maybe that wouldn't have actually saved me. But anyways, that doesn't go through. The circle banishes my dragon. He summons the rod, gets a search effect, sets a card, and attacks my monster. And then for whatever reason, goes into Wee Witch's Apprentice. Yeah, I guess it's, he's going to be able to summon it back anyways. Anyways, I activate good old Promethean Princess. Destroy 2 monsters to summon her back. And then he recycles his rod, which, whatever. So right off the bat, Promethean Princess, and he tries to, this does nothing, I'll be honest, okay, this does nothing. It stops him from summoning it out with Eternal Soul, I guess, but whatever. It's a whatever play. This is going to summon another one from his hand, and also summon another Apprentice Illusion Magician. Snake Eyes field spell to summon out Flamberge from the spell zone, attack into that, attack with Promethean Princess, and then attack for what would be game, but still is game, because he only had 100 life points anyways. I don't know, I feel like there's something to this. Let's move on to the next duel. Alright, so here's one. It was entitled, I knew I should have attacked first, so I guess we'll see what that means. Bonfire into Snake Eye Ash, which was supposed to have searched Poplar. Find out, it's in my hand. Oh, I guess we'll go for Oak. No, not with the Herald in play. Not happening. So we're going to Ash the Agito, because I don't want to deal with that. That's annoying. Summon Dark Magician Girl and Poplar. With Poplar's effect, we're going to put Ash back onto the board. She searches out the Shining Sarcophagus. That gets the dragon. She goes away for good old Dark Magician Destruction. Search out Gaze, play down Gaze, and that's it. Absolutely one of the worst turns you would ever see from a Snake Eye deck. My God, how the mighty have fallen. So here we go. Here it comes. Oh, Jesus. Tearlament Sheeran. Gonna do Gaze to switch out for Red Eyes Dart Dragoon. Summon Sheeran and discard 5, including the draw 1. Letting all that happen. Fuses into Kit Kalos. Kit Kalos hits the board. I'm going to discard Red Eyes Dart Dragoon effect to stop that and destroy it. Go up 1,000 attack points. More cards get sent to the graveyard. Even Eva activates his Chain Link 2 with Soliak at Chain 3. Oh my god, look at all these cards just happening down. And there goes a fusion summon with an unloaded card for another Kit Kalos copy. Throws down Merly onto the field. Oh god, oh, it's a Link summon of a Sprite Elf, of all things. Sprite Elf summoning back the Herald, sending another 5 cards, activating Ariel as Chain Link 2, and I believe that's a Kelback who's going to send another 5 cards, blows up my, hang on, what was that? Blows up my Snake Eye Ash, that's bullying, and throws down Baron de Fleur. Activates it to pop the spell card, but the spell card's not going anywhere, and I'm pretty sure we are in phase, and that's a turn. This is, I think, almost as close to tier 0 tier limits as you can get without going into, like, N3 Graceful Charity. You know, like, back when this deck was built, it actually did have its limitations, and even then, it's disgusting. But I'm holding on by a prayer if this is the best they can do. So here, let's see. Draw for turn, in infinite impermanence. I'm thinking, oh, if only I wasn't controlling cards, I could shut this guy down. Or could I? But I digress. So here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and activate to summon my dragon. He chains Baron de Fleur to stop it. I'm going to chain link 3, Red Eyes Dart Dragoon, pitching infinite impermanence, which actually... Oh, he's got the orange light, but I don't have anything for this. So that actually goes through, and I don't get to summon my dragon. And then he summons his monster, summons Herald, sends 5 more cards. Here it comes. Fuses Ariel, El Shaddai Winda, and then does another thing with the tier limits and brings out Rolkalos. Goes into battle, because this is... What else can I do? And I should have attacked first. That's what I was thinking. In retrospect, maybe I should have just attacked first, and then none of this would have happened. Probably some of this would have happened, but then I could have at least got that off the board, and then try to do my plays. Maybe that was the play, because obviously this didn't work. And this is the last one. It said pretty good, but also kind of terrible. So let's see. Starting off, Thunder Dragon, Dragon Dark, or whatever. It switches out for another one or whatever. Who cares? Terraforming gets me my field spell. Let's speed this up a little. Field spell goes, throws down Oak, sets infinite impermanence. Also, probably not a very strong opener. So here we go. Boom. Buster and Wyver, whatever. So max C. I'm going to just try to draw through this and hope to God I don't die. Striker Dragon, draw a card. Banish for Black Dragon, select Collapse Servant, draw a card. Allure of Darkness, throwing down Dragon Matrix, draw a card. Discarding a Thunder Dragon, and then doing their Link Summon into Cross Sheep, draw a card. Thunder Dragon, Dragonhawk, getting a Dragon Roar, and then into Dragon Colossus, draw 2 cards. Thunder Matrix, draw a card. Bestial Magnemite, draw a card. Using its search, but I'm going to shut it down with infinite impermanence. It's going to be one less card they get at the end of the turn. Sends away Bestial Magnemite for Libellion, draw a card. Colossus and the other guy go away for Union Carrier, draw a card. Bestial Druid Swarm throws down on the field, draw a card. He plays a spell card into the imperm column, so it does nothing and goes into Nightmare Unicorn, draw a card. Nightmare Unicorn targets my trap, but I'm going to actually summon it out onto the board instead. And then he goes off from Unicorn and another guy into Access Code Talker. Draw a card. Access Code Talker, use it on Oak. And then also Bestial Druid Swarm is going to get rid of my card. Oh no, Access Code does that. Infinite Impermanence onto the Access Code Talker so that it loses its attack. Predaplant Verde Anaconda activates its effect, pays 2,000 life points, but hit with the Infinite Impermanence so that it does not resolve. 2,300 attack, 500, and 1,000 means I actually survive this turn in probably the most... See, I feel like it's simultaneously pretty clever, but also a little pathetic. And also, my God, look at this hand. This is absolutely disgusting. I don't know if I should be happy or angry. Let me know. Ash Blossom on the Thunder Dragon to shut it down. So we throw down the Wedgie Temple so I can get, actually, I don't think I actually use it. I'm pretty sure that's just there so that I can use it here in a second, but either way. And then he's going to activate his Branded Regained again. So I figure we'll just search off that, I guess. Didn't really change anything. I'm probably sure I should have negated that. But I'm going to send these two for the Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. We're going to look at his Access Code Talker to get it off the board. Throw down the Shining Sarcophagus. Get the dragon. Play the dragon. Do I activate the dragon? I activate the dragon. I probably should have just done that to begin with. Oh, man. And so then I get the girl. And the girl's fine. You know, but she has an up to level, but it doesn't really affect her attack or anything. So we go up into the Dark Magician of Destruction, and then attack. And if I really needed to, if I had to have pushed for damage after attacking with Dark Magician of Destruction, then I could have activated Gates of Timaeus to swap them out for Red Eyes Dark Dragoon and done an extra 3k damage. You know, if you were in need of that extra sort of damage, and I realized I didn't have to do any of this other Snake Eye stuff. Oh, man. And so that's basically where I'm at with this deck. I have no clue what I'm doing. You know, like I said, you just kind of start with the Snake Eye stuff and what they want to do, which for me is just forcing opponent's monsters into spell trap zones and then stealing them later. Trying to steal them later, anyway. And, you know, in like today's day and age, I need things like D-Barrier to shut down things like Yummy Synchro plays or Lunar Light fusion plays, you know. And then just a bunch of whatever engine stuff and trying to get stuff on board and do stuff with it. And then, you know, interact with the board that way. And that's it. I really have been having an absolute blast with this. Thank you very much for watching. And even though it's all fake made up crap, Jesus loves you, and I love you too. That looks sick.